Hey folks, basically I just want to welcome you to the channel. Happy belated 4th of July. I've been trying to make this video that I'm making right now for the last few days, and I've had all kinds of weird issues. Everything from the aircraft wasn't flying right to interference with my track IR because the sun was setting late in the afternoon and it was mirroring it, its rays off of mirrored objects I have in the kitchen, and right at the moment where I was either trying to land on a carrier or explain certain things. So I finally got to a point where I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait till a certain point, certain time, and when my head's in the game, so I can make a halfway decent video to show you guys what I've been working on the past week or so. And I haven't done a lot of work. Everything's pretty much been done for me, but I just wanted to explain to you what I had to do in order to get to use this. So you guys are sitting here, and the few guys that are flight simmers know that you're sitting in an F-18C. Now this isn't the FSX acceleration, and it's not VRS, of course, but the main problem that I had with Prepar3D 4, which wasn't a problem, just an inconvenience, was the fact that we didn't have an F-18 that was really working. Everyone knows that the FSX acceleration F-18C is kind of a pig. It doesn't sit on the runway properly. It has some flight tuning issues. It looks good. It has a workable, clickable cockpit. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but I don't fly it enough. And I'm not a real pilot, and I'm not a programmer. I'm just a guy that will spend a lot of time trying to figure out something that doesn't work, to get it to work, even if it's not fully functional. So anyways, we are sitting in an F-18C that was created by the community of FSX, Navy Blue Angel community. I'm not sure if it's completely scratch built or if they used anything from the FSX acceleration. I have no clue. I haven't researched it enough. But back in the day, this was really the best F-18C that we had. It was better than FSX. It was well done, and it's still well done. So for you guys that are waiting for a dedicated 64-bit upgrade or version for Prepar3D 64-bit version 4, I don't see it happening anytime soon. There's so much that has to be done by these third-party developers that it could take weeks, months, maybe over a year to get a really fully functional version, something like DCS has created for their F-18, which is going to be released here shortly. But I wanted an F-18 to go along with my F-14 that I like to do my carrier ops, and with the sim working as good as it works now, with the hardware I have, I'm like, wow, I can really enjoy this. So here we are in the F-18C. This is, again, this was developed by FSX Navy Blue Angels. You can go to their website. Unfortunately, I was there last week, and I noticed that I was able to download their texture package for this aircraft, but when I clicked on the link to actually download the aircraft just to see if it worked, nothing happened. The link didn't work. It just basically just sat there. So I'm not sure what's going on. But if you guys have this aircraft, you can go ahead and port it into version 4 of Prepar3D. The only thing that I actually did, I shouldn't say the only thing, I've done a lot of things, but the basics that I had to do was neither one of these MFDs were working or this one. The HUD was working, so I ended up taking the MFDs out of the KBT F-18E, G, and F. You guys remember that. It was for 2004, I believe. I'm not sure if it worked in FSX. Because anyways, I was using the VRS Superhornet, but I took their MFDs, replaced them, used the same coordinates. All I did was actually use the information as far as the gauge itself. I didn't have to change the coordinates, and this is what I basically ended up having. So if you guys have the KBT, it's a freeware F-18 There's the E, the F, and the G model. You can use the MFDs from that. I'm not sure exactly where I got the center MFD, if it was from that aircraft. It might have been. So you guys, if you're familiar and you're tweakers and you're comfortable, you know, doing this kind of stuff, you can figure it out. The engine system MFD on the right is actually pretty accurate for what the aircraft is doing. I have not put this radar interface right here is not working. It's not picking up radar contacts, and it's something I'll play around with further in time. The cockpit, as you see, is non-functionable really. You'll notice things like if you have the tail hook down, and I'll put that down, the handle will drop, you'll get the hook warning, right? You can bring that back up. Your air brake, usually there's something down here that shows that the air brake has been extended, but it's not working. But visually you can look back there and see that it's up. I did make a number of changes to the flight tuning dynamics of the aircraft, which, you know, you're going to have to figure out how you like the, you know, to fly the aircraft. It's, you know, it's trial and error for you guys that have never done it before. You can go in the air and, you know, make one change and then get back in the aircraft and see how it works. What I normally do with this third-party stuff that I port over, when I start the game, I normally start the game with a default aircraft that's native to the flight sim. And for whatever reason, it seems that some of the weird anomalies that you see in these third-party aircraft or ported over aircraft don't rear their ugly head if you select an aircraft that's native to the sim first and then go into your vehicle management and pick another aircraft or pick the one that you want to fly. I haven't noticed a lot of bugs in this, but like I said, you know, looking at all these switches, I don't really touch anything. There's the anti-skid over here. That's the only one. Right here is the PO heat, and I noticed when you actually switch this into the you know, on position, I guess, the aircraft has a tendency to nosedive into the deck. Haven't tracked it down. I don't know why, but I do have a working GPS. I have a working moving map, system management here. This is just eye candy. The HUD is relatively accurate. I've noticed some of these ported over aircraft that I'm using this HUD, this 48, and this is basically for your airspeed, it stays at 48. I haven't figured out why. Maybe it's calibrated wrong, but once you actually start to increase your speed, your airspeed, and get airborne, this number will become accurate. Altitude is pretty much right. Of course, you'll have to reset your altimeter, you know, as you're flying along, whatever you have to do. What else? So yeah, so basically this is just a lot of eye candy. This engine left and right management and fuel is all working. I'll show you the outside of the aircraft. Oh, let me, I need to get a PM view. Bear with me for a second. I was flying around. So this is the aircraft. Again, this is the FSX Navy Blue Angels F18C. And you'll notice compared to the FSX Acceleration F18C that this aircraft will actually sit and it looks realistic and correct when it's, you know, on the deck, on its landing gear. These guys did a nice job. They also incorporated all kinds of cool modifications, effects to the aircraft. You've got a heat shimmer. The lights will come on and off, but they're basically initiated by time of day. And you'll see what I mean after that. You really can't just turn on one thing or turn something else off, and you know, you guys know what I mean. It's affected by the time of day, which was always a weird thing with FSX. What else? Yeah, textures. Let's talk about textures for a second. The texture pack that you can download from their site is roughly about I would say probably, I guess there's 40 textures in that pack. And also, something else I need to mention is that there is 4 models for every texture if you want them to be. You've got ear to ear, which this is what it is here. You've got ear to ground. You've got a bombing model. You've got a clean model. I don't know what else. So there's 3 or 4. So if you had 40 different textures and then you had 40 different models, because this aircraft is, you know, dated, it's not like you can go into a modern aircraft where you can just have basically just your textures and have a loadout manager change your loadout without having all those aircraft. So what I did was I eliminated all of the other models except for the ear-to-ear models, which I use for every texture. And the textures range from everything from experimental to your CAD colors to your low visibility schemes. But being the motivated Marine I am, I'm using BMA 314. So, yeah, that is it for the outside. You can see how well this aircraft is, even though it's dated. All the surfaces work. You've got your spoiler. I did change the extension time on that. It was at 2.5, and I ended up taking a second off, so it's at 1.5. Also, a feature on the aircraft is a tail hook. Now, when you put the tail hook down, I've already clicked on it. It takes a couple of seconds for that pressure to build and for that tail hook to come down. Now, I'm not sure if that's accurate, like the real F-18, or if it's something that I could edit and make it more accurate, but that's where it's at. So I'm going to click on the button right now to retract it, and you'll see how long it takes. So I'm going to push it in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So it's about 3 seconds for it to retract. The flaps, now you can see that they're in the full down position. And I can retract those intimately. I don't have to retract them fully. It works. And I believe oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. That's my moving map. But I can also fold the wings fully. And from a visual perspective, it looks, you know, it looks accurate. And fold them back out. I have also made carrier landings and launch from the carriers and AI carriers with this aircraft. I didn't have to make any edits to the weight or, you know, the position of the landing gear or the tail hook. I didn't have to do anything. I just flew the aircraft. I made a lot of edits to the flight tuning because we all have different hardware. And of course, this is a port over, and it was a very kind of complicated aircraft. So I had to eliminate certain things, some of the sound effects. You know, the sound package is kind of detailed in this aircraft. I actually changed that, and I made some changes to the panel. So, you know, you guys can do whatever you want to with it. But if you guys are familiar with, you know, that type of modifying and tweaking, then you'll have fun with the aircraft, because half the fun of doing this stuff is actually making something work. So again, I'm not a pilot and I'm not a programmer. I'm just someone who likes to figure shit out. And even if it doesn't look, you know, authentic or accurate or realistic, I just try to get it to a point where, okay, I can enjoy what I have until a third-party developer makes something that's, you know, like the VRS Superhornet. And, you know, God knows how long. So let's go back in the cockpit real quick, and we'll just show you basically what we got here. So none of this stuff seems to work. I don't play around with it. You know, it's non-clickable. It's a lot of eye candy. You've got anti-skid here, and this is about the only thing that I do change. I'm on my track IR, so it's moving, but I don't touch anything else. Like this pitot heat right here, it's in the auto position, but when I put it on, the aircraft nosedives. None of this works. There's no, you know, you don't see any numerals here. Again, working engine management, working moving map. Radar's not working, but it doesn't mean I can't put another one in there and eventually get it working. So let's go to the HUD key. So Shift 1 brings up a moving HUD in the helmet. I love this. I like to put it on all my aircraft. So it's a cool little feature, especially if you've got an aircraft that might be a port over and you're having issues with seeing the HUD. You can add this, you know, and you can use this as an example for another aircraft and put this in. So it's kind of cool to have. That's Shift 1. Shift 2 is your arming or weapons / maybe GPS pop-up window. I don't use anything here. I don't touch this. You know, I'm not using any of the tactical shit, but you can change, you know, if you want to. You can change the HUD from blue to green, and that's, you know, that's basically one of the few things, or the only thing I actually use in that pop-up. That's Shift 2. We'll go to Shift 3 as a GPS. Now, this GPS that I put in, I picked up from Sim Market. It was relatively cheap. It works in this aircraft, and it seems to work pretty well, at least from my point of view. So that's Ultimate Professional 2.1. I threw that in there. Shift 4. Shift 4 is basically a quick little pop-up menu of what the aircraft is doing. You notice we have, as I move the throttle, I'm in position 0, engine RPM is dropping. So if you look at this number right here and you look at this engine minute, you'll see that it is pretty accurate. You know what I mean? It's not too bad. I mean, these numbers are relatively close. Smoke is off, G, 1G, auto rudder. Disregard that. That's not correct, and that doesn't mean that you have your auto rudder enabled in your realism settings in the sim. I've looked at this in a few different places, and it's just it's inaccurate. So I don't even know what that is right there. Gear down, you can see that hook up. Now, if I put the hook down, that will actually show that the hook is down. If I put the speed brake out, you'll see that it's deployed or extended. I'll go ahead and bring it back in, and I'll bring the hook back up. Spring, for you pilots or guys that are a lot better or a lot familiar with flying in this type of aircraft, you'll know what that means. I don't. So we'll just go ahead and shut that off. Okay, now we're going to shift 5. Shift 5, very cool. This feature works really good. So say you're flying around, you're a little bored, you want to do an interception. Well, you can bring this up with shift 5 and say, let's go ahead and go down here. 76 nautical miles out, you've got an aircraft here, right? So here we are. We click on it. Well, guess what? This gives us a bearing, the speed of this aircraft, the altitude, 30,000 feet. So if you want to, it tells you the type. It's a Learjet. So if you could do an interception if you wanted to. And the cool thing is that you have a bearing. It's flying in the distance and the airspeed. So as you come up, maybe you could practice saying that you're a real pilot. You don't want that aircraft to know that you're actually following it or trailing it or viewing it. You try not to overshoot it. So it's a good way to practice not overshooting. 32,000 feet. It's pretty active here. It's telling you what the aircraft is doing, and you can do that for any of these aircraft. So you basically just click and highlight, and it'll tell you what's going on. So it's a cool little feature if you want to use it. That is shift 5. Shift 6. Basically, this information right here is, I would have to say, is for carrier ops. One thing I want to show you here, the fuel. Now, fuel is showing 9.9. In this aircraft, when this aircraft is maxed out, that number will jump from I've already been flying around, that's why it's so low, but maximum fuel for this aircraft should be 12.7. So if I go here and bring up shift Z, and I'm going to bring up this information, you'll see that 9.9 is roughly 78% right there, so you guys can see that. But if I hit, and this is different depending on what you have your keys mapped to, repair and refuel, I've got a shortcut set up, and it's shift F. So go ahead and watch. We're going to go shift F. You're going to see it's going to repair and refuel the aircraft. This number should jump to 12.7. There we go, 12.7, 100% there. So that'll show you if you guys are, even, getting down in the 8s, the 7s, you've got more than enough fuel if your realism settings are real high. But that if you're at 12.7, if you bring that up, depending on how you fly the aircraft, you're good to go. So let's go to shift 7. Shift 8 is, I don't have anything set for shift 7. I should change that. But shift 8, this is an overall information center. So you've got a number of things here. Weight of the aircraft, different tanks, whatever's going on the aircraft, bingo, fuel dump, anti-skid brakes on. If I turn that off, let's see if that goes off. So yeah, so anti-skid, you'll see that actually works. So turning that on and off changes the anti-skid brakes on. It's got pitch angle, all this shit. Auto rudder, you see that right here? Now in that other setting, that shift 2, I believe, or whatever it was, it showed auto rudder on. But we know that that's wrong. And you'll also, looking at this, let me fix my GPS, my track IR. You'll see right here that this information is pretty accurate. Right here we're showing 61%. You see that right there? So on left and right engine, I got to give it credit. These guys did a nice job when they built this aircraft. You'll also notice that your FPS, it might get a little notchy when you have this pop-up open, because there's so much information that's actually being read as in real time. So shutting off, we go back to smooth panning. Excuse me, I got an itchy throat. So that's it. Again, the aircraft is the FSX Navy Blue Angels F18C, and I'll post links to their site. Maybe you already have the aircraft, and you may have to tweak it a little bit to get it to where you want. So let's go ahead and take off, and we'll do 1 or 2 traps if I can do it today, because man, my flying is horrible. So we'll go ahead and hit the brakes. Aircraft's already ready. We've got plenty of fuel, and I think we're ready to get out of Dodge. Also, you'll see that these gauges, these analog or steam gauges, whatever these are, none of these work, and I haven't even bothered to change them. You know, of course, the RWR doesn't work, and the horizontal indicator here doesn't work. But hey, you know, you've got the HUD, and you got your seat of the pants flying. So let's go ahead and taxi out. You know, like I said, I also changed the sounds. I had some nice sounds that I like in this aircraft, and you know, I knew I wasn't going to turn this aircraft into pay-wear quality. It's just not going to happen. But it was the kind of situation to where it's like, well, it's either having something or nothing. And if it was something where the aircraft didn't fly right, and it was, you know, like low quality, I wouldn't bother, because there's so many other things to fly. But when you look at this aircraft, I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's really nice. And those guys from that community did a hell of a job. So you'll also notice that heat shimmer. And on top of that, it's got some nice smoke effects. I got a feeling that aircraft is coming in 6.5 miles out. But you know what? I'm not waiting for it, because we can get airborne long before he's even on short final. So we'll just take our little asses out. And this aircraft, I'll tell you what, it lands like a dream. None of that FSX acceleration horse shit to where it starts skidding down the runway like it's on, you know, glass. So we're out of here. So you'll notice, you see right as soon as we pick up that airspeed, she starts to pick up. You know, it just sits on 48 the whole time. So slow rotation. All right. And we'll come left. We're going to do a 180 and pretty much head due east, and I'll set up, you know, a carrier with supporting ships about 10 miles out. And I won't even throw any weather in here. We'll just keep it as clear as we can and make it a nice day for carrier traps. So anyways, quick overview while I kind of get set up. Everyone seems to be doing fine. Had a good 4th of July. I did some riding on the S1000RR, and I didn't do a track day this past weekend like I should have. It's just that's the way shit happens. But we've got some more coming up, and I'll get my ass on the track, get riding with some of my buddies, and get my skill sets up a little bit. It always pays to ride with racers or really good track guys, and there's no excuse not to if you got the bike, the time, and the money. And I'm gonna make some time, that's for sure. All right, let's go to add-ons. For you guys that know, FSUIPC has a payware version and I think an update, so make sure you check that if you haven't checked it. AI carriers, we'll go to page 2, and I'll take carrier deck, crowd deck 2, 10 miles ahead, and let's get them moving right away. So we'll get them. All right, so they're moving, and nice slow airspeed. We'll do a flyby down the starboard side, and then we'll hook around and we'll start trying to get down. I don't want to make this video super long. Maybe I'll do one trap and launch again, and then I'll throw some weather in, and we'll see if we can land on the weather. So, but all right. For you guys that are, you know, watching my videos and my head's always moving around, I don't have a lot of etiquette when I got track IR on when I'm making my videos, and I apologize for that, because I know it's a pain in the ass. You're like, what the hell is he doing? But yeah, it's just sometimes for me, I have a hard time sitting still. I'm either scratching my head or moving my head around, drinking water. All right, so wow, we got some traffic. So we've got the 4 escorts, and we've got the carrier right down there, looking at it right now. once they get going, the wakes look pretty good. You can see that the escort right there doesn't have any weird anomalies like the carrier. The carrier, it seems when it starts, it gets that weird wake, and eventually once the scenery is kind of pushed a little bit, look at that. Wow. I got to show you guys this. Right there, it almost looks like that destroyer is going to hit that ship, but they're gonna miss each other. Wow, pretty cool. So slow this thing down. There's some of the effects I told you about. Like I said, these guys did a nice job, and they had some sounds to go with these effects. You know, there was like almost like metal crunching kind of noises and stuff like that, and I disabled some of that. You'll find a lot of those effects in the panel folder, and you can disable them by looking at the panel config and going down, and you can disable some of that stuff if you don't like it. I don't like a whole bunch of shit when I'm flying, but I do appreciate what these guys did in the dedication that went into making this aircraft and really making what I would consider a great F-18C. One of the other things I didn't mention, you'll see when you're in the virtual cockpit, you don't see any hard points of weapons on the aircraft, and that's just, I guess they couldn't do it. Maybe it was because it was basically based off another platform, but when you see the outside of the aircraft, you know, flying, it looks really, really nice. I mean, I love these textures. So, all right, let's get down to business because I don't know, I'm not going to make this too long. We'll slow this aircraft down. We'll clean up, and we'll head down the port side of the aircraft, and we'll see if I can't land it at least maybe once or twice, and then I can upload this video. You know, I haven't simmed like I used to, you know, years ago. And there was a time I could land on that carrier, you know, all day long and make my traps. But I've lost so much skill set. And that goes to show you, use it or lose it. And I've lost it. So bear with me. I know you guys are thinking at times, come on, man, what the hell you doing? But, you know, I just can't seem to keep my focus the way I used to. That's one of the problems. I'm drinking coffee right now, so I'm getting that little caffeine buzz going on. Prepar3D version 4, how's it been so far? Well, it's been really good. You know, I still, you know, it's like I said, it's not the magic bullet. You're going to get some issues. I've noticed the more stuff you add, you know, it's not like it slows it down like FSX or, you know, the 32-bit stuff, but it'll slow it down. You know, you'll get some textures that have to be refreshed, and, you know, I don't know. I mean, if you got a killer rig, you can pretty much enjoy the shit out of it. I mean, I have, but anyways, you know, you guys know what you're doing. The guys that come on this channel have a good idea of what's up. All right, so speed's looking pretty good. Altitude's not bad. I think I'm supposed to be around 1,500 when I make my turn in here, but I'm gonna kind of try to keep my altitude right about there. I want to bring gear down, hook down. Now you can see the hook's going down on the right-hand side of the cockpit. I've got the hook warning light. I've got 3 green on the landing gear, and I got to add some flaps. And let's just see what happens. Uh-oh. Wow, it's almost like I got to take this, but hold on a second. Hey, Court. Hey, is everything all right? What happened? Oh, shit. It's just, hey, listen, you can always go back. You got time. Go kick something. Hey, listen, shit happens. Don't worry about it. You're in my video now. I wasn't going to let you stop me making this video. It's going so good. I said, you know what? I'm answering the phone with her. So I hate to tell you, you better watch your language so I don't get banned from YouTube. You want to say anything? Because they can hear everything you're saying. Well, you're going to go kick. All right. You want to call me after you kick something? All right. Thanks for calling while I'm making my video. Hey, anything you want to say to my community? All right. Listen, I'll talk to you a little bit later. I'm on short final now. All right. Bye. Well, sorry, folks. I wasn't going to quit making this video. It's after this is my 6th or 7th attempt. I don't care if the Pope calls. I'm not going to stop. This is looking pretty decent. So, quick check. Everything's down. Airspeed's maybe a tad slow. But as you can see, I'm full flaps. Give you guys the look. Ooh, shit. All right, come back. All right, it's looking good. Semi-crowded deck. This land is going to be for you, Clayton. For my respect to the Navy. Come on, baby. Come on. Whoa. Hey, I did it. Hook up. Yeah. That's for you, Clay. All right. Let's see if we can get on this cat. I got to remember. You know what? I might have forgotten how to activate this. Let's see what I got to do. Okay. So, let's get the line up here. I might have to actually get out of the game and read my little cheat notes I made for myself. Okay. So, we're coming up. I got to look because I'm not sure how close I am to the, what the hell they call that? The cradle. See that Black Hawk right there. We're getting close. No. All right. All right. Bam. So I'm on it. I'll set park and brake. I think it's Shift U or Shift I. Yep. Shift U gets it down. Shift I. There's a blast deflector. Yeah. So catapult's ready for launch. So I'm in. The guy's giving me the fucking thumbs up, Clay. I'm going to change weather. I'm getting excited, guys, because this is going a lot better than I thought. Let's go ahead and we're going to go with this. This is some custom weather that, actually, I can't remember where I got this from. It might have been Aussie Man made this. I'm not sure, but it's all part of this group. We call it Orbix Weather, I guess. So it's one of their presets that they use or something. But anyways, it's part of my Orbix. All right, so the weather's pretty cool. That looks nice. Textures are loaded. I got the green light. I'm going to full afterburner. Take off the bar. And I think I hit Shift Spacebar. Here we go. Yes. Ooh, not so easy, Keith. All right. Sorry about that, folks. I pulled two back on the stick. Now we got a little weather. Let's see. Gear up, hooks up. And we're just going to go back down and do one more. And we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, we got some weather, all right. Let's go ahead and even make it more of a challenge. Just throw some rain in there. Let's throw some serious weather in there. Major thunderstorm. Nah, that's not that serious. Not as serious as it could be. Cooler temps. Stormy weather. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, shit. Wow. All right. So I need to slow down. Way too fast. I've lost visual on the aircraft. I mean, on the carrier. And look at my altitude. I'm going to have to get down like 1,500 feet. Maybe. This isn't good. First time. Oh, this is going to be a real challenge. Bear with me, folks. You got to slow down. Yep. All right. We're slowing down. There's a carrier. It's going to be a little bit weird. It's really, really low. All right. 295. We're going to take our time with this. Looks like a big, huge cloud right over the carrier right there. So this is going to be a struggle for me. I have to stay under 1,000 feet. Come on, aircraft. Slow down. All right. Let's dirty it up a little bit. Gear down. Flaps down. Wow. Okay. Easy. I'm too slow. Wow, way too slow. Not far out as I want to be. Can barely see the carrier where I'm at now. I was just having deja vu right now. I was just having deja. What is going on here? Speed up. Getting way too low and too crappy. Yeah, so I was just flying for a split second, and I had some deja vu. I wouldn't say it was great deja vu, but it was what it was. We'll just deal with it when it comes. Maybe I'll recognize it, remember it. So I know I'm getting a little weird on you guys today, but it's been a weird day. Where the hell is that carrier? Wow, right off my nose. I was looking in the wrong place. I don't know if I'm going to get on deck, guys. Let's see. Tail hook down, 3 green on the thing, looking good. Flaps are down, lights on. Creep's got the ball. All right, so let's just mellow out. Now, if I land on this right now, then that's it. This video, I'm going to upload it right now, and I'm going to go ride my mountain bike and do my workout. And when I come back, I can, hopefully, I'll write a good write-up on this for you guys that want this information, and we'll be all set. All right, so, I mean, I'm not looking that bad. All right, coming in. Speed looks pretty good. Rate of descent, I guess, looks good for a non-pilot. For you guys that want to know, my uncle was an actual F-18 instructor pilot, great pilot. He got killed in the late 80s. One of the students and him collided. You know, it was just a freak accident. Those guys get killed a lot. So, anyways, this is about as close as I want to get to that kind of shit. All right, I'm off just a little bit, but I'm bringing her down. Don't hit the fucking ramp, Keith. That was close. Son of a bitch, I didn't make it. Gear up. We'll keep the hook down, and we'll try for one short pass. So I must have bounced over the whoa, don't get too high. I must have bounced over the cables. All right, there's the port side escort carrier. It's pretty low. This right here is a lot lower than where I was, this layer of clouds. So all right, slow this thing down. Still got hook down, gears up. Flaps are still extended, but I'm gonna make this real short. So try to get back here. Where's that destroyer facing the rear? So all right, let's just go ahead, slow down. I'll extend just a little bit more. There she is. I think it's supposed to be 5 miles out, and then you make your turn in. But I've looked at it, read on it, actually had people that seem like they know talk to me about it. You can see this weather. I'm still getting halfway decent frame rate, and I don't think it's stuttering much. But there's there's some stuff going on here, no doubt about it. So all right, so I want to make this turn, and then I'll try to slow down. All right. Gear coming down. Tail hooks down. I'm way off center line, but I can clean this up. Keep. Oh. Where'd you go? There we go. Yeah, I would say I don't know how much wind I'm getting right now, but the aircraft is definitely not not handling like it was in that other weather. So you got some weird fog, but maybe I need to keep my angle of attack right, because I think what happened was I just landed way too short, and I ended up bouncing over the wires. I'm getting a little bit off the center line. I was on it and I got off of it. So okay, come on, Keith, make it happen. Airspeed's a little too slow. We're gonna touch it up a notch so I can keep my descent. All right, not too much. This aircraft will definitely get moving on you quick. All right, I come back out of it. I'm a little high. I'm really high, but we'll bring it down. Oh no, I'm way off. Missed it. Fucking A. Alright, one more time, real short, and that's it, guys. Because I'm going to end up making this video too long. I just want to make a good short video. Hook's down. No, hook isn't down. Jesus Christ. I messed that up. Hook down. Wouldn't matter if I got it anyways, because the damn hook wasn't down. See, you got to have all these procedures and constantly recheck yourself. That's why they teach you the way they do. Otherwise, you have some knucklehead up. We can't land. I don't know what's the matter. Your tail hook's not down, dummy. That's why I be working in the kitchen and not in the goddamn F-18. All right, so let's get it together. Flaps are down, tail hook's down, gear coming back down. Slow this puppy down and clean it up. Too high. Bring it down. I don't need a white out here. The airspeed's looking good now. You stay right below this layer and bring it in and land this thing so I can go do what I want to do. All right. Put it in there, creep. Man, I can't imagine having to do this at night in bad weather when you know there's no place. You can't go anyplace. You have to land. You're going to run out of fuel. There's nothing else to do. Either land or eject out in cold water. I'm going to put it right on the deck right now. Ooh, slow down. Slow down. There we go. Not too much. Tail hooks down. 3 green on the landing gear. All right. Put her in there. You're the man, creep. You're the man. You're the man. Shitty weather. Shitty weather. Put her in. Don't crash in the fantail. Get on the center line. Oh, no. No. All right. That's it, folks. Sorry. Couldn't do it. I'll have to give it a try. More practice makes perfect. Later, everybody.